Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Master Your Fleets, where I'm going to be talking about the Galactic Republic fleet. And by the end of this video, I will have climbed to rank 1 in Fleet Arena on my GoTanks account with a combination of Negotiator and the Endurance against a variety of fleets, mostly including Profundity and the Executor, and also some Negotiators. I don't have Leviathan on this shard, but I will attempt to take that on with the Endurance on my main account towards the end of this video. But for right now, we're going to be talking about just Galactic Republic fleet as a cohesive fleet, because everyone has the Endurance to them available to them at the very beginning of the game, and I would argue that you should work on these two as a team, because there are some cases where Endurance is going to be what you need to climb, and other cases where Negotiator is better. You know, overall Negotiator is considered better, but Endurance has some instances where that is what you're going to need to climb, and Negotiator isn't going to get it done. Now that is a lot of prestige mats, and I think for a lot of players, they're going to have the Endurance, brand new players, they will be stuck with Endurance longer than I was stuck with it. If you buy Lightspeed bundles, maybe you'll get to buy a Negotiator, but... So yeah, we're going to be looking at these two as a group for Fleet Arena purposes. In Grand Arena, you know, you can't use both, but... So let's start with talking about Negotiator as a capital ship, and then we'll look at all the individual ships, and then we'll talk about Endurance after that to kind of look at it with a different lens. So my Negotiator on this account, I have a Relic 7 Kenobi, no Zeta, but I do have the mods, 6 dots. Negotiator's leadership ability. All allies have plus 25% potency, and Galactic Republic allies have plus 25% accuracy. Right away, that's not super impressive. But all enemies deal 25% damage, less damage when attacking out of turn. That's very nice, because a lot of ships to attack out of turn. Galactic Republic allies deal 10% more damage for each other ally with Valor doubled for Jedi. So if everyone's got Valor, Anakin is going to be hitting much harder, same with Ahsoka. If Anakin Starfighter is present at the start of the battle, it gains unending loyalty for 3 turns. So unending loyalty is explained here. Can't be defeated during the first enemy attack, including assists that would otherwise defeat this ship. So that's like a mass assist from either another Negotiator or an Executor. Even if it gets them down to like 1 GP, 1 HP, and then it would kill them again, they won't die. But then when reduced to 1% health, gain stealth protection up for 2 turns, recover 20% health, then the buff expires. Also, when you use this ability, you're going to grant offense up to a ship. So you just kind of pick the ship that needs it. Grant all allies protection up 25% for 2 turns. So you kind of want to use that as your second ability. The opening move with Negotiator 90% of the time is going to be this ability, Mobilize, or the AoE Mass Assist. This is like this and Executor's Mass Assist are like the best opening moves in the game. And I kind of like this one a little bit more in some cases. Do physical damage to all enemies and daze them for 2 turns. That's huge. AoE daze. Target lock for 2 turns on 2 random enemies that aren't already target locked. Target lock's going to help a lot with a bunch of random different things. Then all allies gain 30% turn meter. Grant all Galactic Republic allies Valor for 2 turns, then all allies with Valor or all card to assist. So if you have buff immunity, you're not going to get that assist with that character. And what Valor does, grant allied capital Galactic Republic ship 15% turn meter and reduce its ultimate ability cooldown by 1. So you want that Valor spread out as often as much as you can, just so you are getting to your ultimate faster and feeding turn meter to your capital ship. That is very important. The ultimate ability, though, I think this kind of comes second fiddle to that opening move, that assist. It's physical damage to all enemies. Place 3 concussion mines that will blow up after 1 turn, and when they blow up, it dazes them. But each mine does 10% of the target's max health and can't be dispelled. So usually I use that when I need AoE damage. If there's like one enemy with a lot of health and I have an option between these two, I'll go for the mass assist. Otherwise, if there's someone hiding under stealth or behind a taunt that I need killed, that's when I'll use that. This ability, I would recommend just saving the prestige. Like, it's just some damage and crit immunity for 2 turns, and the upgrading it only increases the damage. Like, I rarely ever need to use the basic, so And like if I do, I'm still getting the crit immunity. It's just some damage. So like I think you just leave that at 1 if you're strapped for prestige mats, like most people probably are. Next, let's talk about Anakin. So Anakin, for the longest time, was considered the most important ship on the fleet. I mean, he's still up there. It's kind of tied #1. He just does a lot of damage. He's got mainly health, not much protection, good speed, and just does a lot of damage. So his unique ability, which is fantastic. Jedi and clone allies gain 30% offense, doubled if they have Valor. So if you have Valor, 60% offense. When another ally falls below 100% health or is defeated, Anakin gets ticked off, gains 100% turn meter, and his next attack deals 50% more damage. It's not a bonus turn though, so these days, not going to get it. Additionally, Anakin Starfighter immediately regains Valor for 2 turns whenever it expires. So that's nice. If they dispel, you're just going to get it back, and that's really handy. Another feature of Anakin is AoE. It's a simple AoE with healing immunity and buff immunity, like Jedi Anakin's basic in the land game. And then Anakin gains 20% protection up for 2 turns for each critical hit. So you kind of want to save this if you want damage spread out, or if you want to lock buff immunity on a key enemy, such as Houndstooth. And the basic, simple, but does a lot of damage. Do physical damage and inflict target lock. If there is target lock already, grant another random ally Valor for 2 turns. His reinforcement ability is actually pretty strong too, and we are going to be using this in one battle, in Endurance versus Executor. Grant all allies accuracy up for 2 turns, and all Galactic Republic allies offense up for 2 turns. Yes, very good. And inflict expose on all enemies for 2 turns, which can't be evaded. So that's on top of coming in, getting offense up, doing an AoE. It's also going to be exposed. So lots of damage there, just a lot of potential. Next, we're talking about Marauder. Marauder has been like the crux of all my free-to-play farming guides, my new free-to-play account, because it is just so good. And you don't need every bad batch in relics. So I have 1 in relics. I have 1 at gear 10 tech, and I have Wrecker at gear 12. Wrecker is close. He's only 1 piece away from gear 13, but the Chirotech is expensive. I'd say you want Wrecker at least at gear 11 for this ability. Because when you get to gear 11, you can max out the ability. Without it, you don't have the Bad Batch or Plan 99 buff. So I'll read this in its entirety, and this is maxed out if he is gear 11. Marauder has plus 15% speed. That's basically all it is at level 5. At the start of the battle, gets Plan 99, can't be dispelled or prevented. That's 50% defense and tenacity, and it's like an extra life. It covers 100% health and loses Plan 99. Which, it's got a lot of health. It's a tanky ship. It's great. Next, whenever an ally loses Valor, they gain 5% defense until the end of the battle, double for clone troopers. Nice little perk. Not huge. The ally capital ship is destroyed, but Marauder gains the Bad Batch until the end of the battle. Can't be dispelled. And that's 50% defense and offense. Whenever it uses a special ability, it calls itself to assist. So you do an AoE, then you assist. Or you hide Anakin, then you assist. And its basic is amazing. I love it. This ship can't be stunned and takes reduced damage from percent health effects. So that's kind of like if you're facing Executor or Profundity, then it's going to be a nice bonus. You might be able to take out some ships out of revenge from that extra buff. It's pretty nice. Look at the abilities after the unique. So this other unique maxed out. This you just need more levels on the ship. You don't need stars or anything. Marauder has plus 30% offense and protection. Whenever Marauder uses a special ability, it recovers 20% protection and gains 20% turn meter. That's just so nice. I mean, protection is the first thing to go. You'll recover some. You have extra. You get extra offense, and you gain more turn meter. It's just a kick butt ship. And here, this is perhaps my favorite ability on the Marauder. Just its basic. Don't sleep on its basic. Because what you don't see in the words is how much damage it does. It does a ton. Deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict target lock. That's great. And on a random enemy that didn't already have it. So that's 2 target locks. That's nice. Marauder has Valor. This target lock can't be resisted. And grant a random ally Valor for 2 turns who doesn't already have it. So yeah, keep an eye out if he does have Valor and they got target lock. He's going to pass it around. So that's pretty nice. This ability, I think this is a good ability. I think most people focus on this. Some people have focused on this as like the only valuable thing from Marauder, that it can hide Anakin. Not so. Marauder on its own is a superstar. Deal physical damage to target enemy. Marauder and target ally recover 30% health and protection. It's already a good amount of healing, but it also If this attack scores a critical hit, all allies with Valor recover 20% health and protection, doubled for Clone Trooper allies, which includes itself. So you could be getting 70% health and protection on the Marauder, and 50% health and protection on like Anakin and Ahsoka, or other Galactic Republic. So Marauder and target non-tank ally gain stealth for 2 turns. That's why I'm saying hide Anakin. If Marauder has Valor, this attack has plus 75% crit chance. So it's better to use, you know, if you have Valor. Valor is just so good for the whole fleet. I love it. So if you have Valor, you're going to get the extra healing and the extra chance of the critical hit. Target lock, this attack has plus 75% crit chance, so you could have 150% crit chance. Pretty high probability for a crit. This is the ability upgraded with... Oh, misclicked. Upgraded with Hunter. And the last thing is the extra healing and extra crit chance. So you need to get up to level 7 for the stealth. But level 6, you have the health and protection recovery. So I think Hunter and Wreck are the most important to get up to higher levels. As you can see here, my tech is gear 10. I do not have this ability maxed out. So the level 7 and 8 abilities that I don't have are enemies can't resist ability block. And while Marauder is plane 99, reduce the cooldown of this ability by 4. And plane 99 is something you start at the battle with. So it would be nice to have this, but as you can see, I'm going to say it's not essential. So this ability, so I like gear 10. This is pretty essential. Deal physical damage to all enemies who are critically hit by this attack, and they are afflicted with ability block for 1 turn. If Marauder has Valor, I only want to use this when it has Valor, by the way. This attack has 75% crit chance, and all allies get crit chance up, crit damage up, and offense up for 2 turns. So that is a ton of extra damage. So you save this for when they have ability block. You don't need to hide anyone. You don't need big damage right away in 1 hit. Everyone gets all this offensive buffs, and it is amazing. So those two, the superstars of this fleet. One other note on the speed. So Marauder, why I got him up to like Relic 4 Hunter is just for the speed. So 166 plus 15, that's 181. That's faster than a maxed out Rebel Y-Wing. And that's important for countering Profundity. So that's just a side note. Next character we're looking at is Ahsoka Starfighter. She's a pretty simple ship, kind of like Anakin, but she's a little faster. She doesn't have the automatic unending loyalty at the start of the match with Negotiator. It's more of a single hit ship. This ability, physical damage, dispel all buffs. Its cooldown is reset, and Ahsoka Starfighter gains 50% turn meter whenever an enemy reinforces. So it's kind of like a unique ability within a special, gaining turn meter when someone reinforces. Then the basics just pretty strong, 7% chance to gain offense up for 2 turns. And then if there's a target lock, another chance to gain offense up to another ally for 2 turns. The special turnabout, so dispel all debuffs on Ahsoka, gain protection up for 50% for 2 turns. If any debuffs were dispelled this way, Ahsoka Starfighter and other debuffed allies gain retribution for 2 turns. So I saved that for when she really needs to survive more. Everyone has kind of an innocuous debuff, and then you can get the retribution. But I usually go for this special or the basic. The reinforcement ability, sometimes I do bring her in from the reinforcements. Dispel all buffs on target enemy and gain 20% max health for each buff dispelled. So make sure you're targeting someone with the most buffs. That you can both remove them, which is nice, and gain extra health. Marauders, I didn't talk about Marauders reinforcement because it's crap. Stealth and target, it's crap. Don't bring them in the starting lineup. Next, most important, let's go Plo, because Plo is going to be a lot of times your first reinforcement, and the main value, I have a weak Plo, its stats aren't great. The main value is the reinforcement ability. Dispel all debuffs from all allies, recover 40% health and protection. Plo is the medic, cleans it up, and then he gives turn meter to all allies. Unless you're facing Profundity, this is usually what you start with. Then they get health up and protection recharge 45% for 2 turns. What I choose to use a lot of times against Profundity is this special. Dispel all debuffs on target ally and grant them taunt and protection up 50% for 2 turns. Target allies Galactic Republic, they gain crit immunity for 2 turns. And you'll see me do this versus Profundity. I throw that on Plo itself because he's kind of expendable after the reinforcement, and then he can just die and you're fine. And the basic, nothing special. I mean, 70% chance game, 15% protection up for 2 turns, grant up protection up to another ally. It's all okay. But reinforcement ability, most important. Turn meter gain, great. And force taunt, very nice. Y-Wing, I'm not going to make a ton of use of this in this video, but it's kind of the default defensive starter I use. So I use Anakin, Marauder, and Y-Wing as the tank. It's a pilotless ship, so it's super easy to upgrade. You just farm the stars, and then it's maxed out when you apply the abilities. Y-Wing has plus 15% max protection for each Galactic Republic ally, including reinforcements present at the start of the battle. Y-Wing recovers 10% health whenever a Galactic Republic ally is critically hit, and taunts for 2 turns when Anakin loyalty expires. So when Anakin loses his buff, then Y-Wing taunts, but sometimes I don't go for this ship for the tank when I need a tank, because I can't get the taunt out fast enough, and sometimes I use Houndstooth. When the Y-Wing is defeated, all Galactic Republic allies gain 30% counter chance for the rest of the battle. So if you are facing a Galactic Republic fleet, you usually want to kill this last, because that counter chance is annoying. The special, deal physical damage to target enemy and the weakest enemy and dispel all buffs on them. Then the Y-Wing taunts, gains protection up 50% for 2 turns. So this is nice for 1, gaining your taunt, 2, dispelling, and 3, maybe potentially killing an enemy that hid under stealth or is hiding behind taunt that barely has any health, and I've done that plenty of times. The basic, physical damage does 20% more damage for each ally with Valor. That actually gets to a pretty good amount. It actually has some pretty good hits occasionally with the basic. That's a red R2 in there, I just noticed that. But yeah, solid tank for this fleet, and that way you don't have to have Houndstooth, but Houndstooth is a great substitute there. UMbaran Starfighter, I do make use of this whenever I am starting Endurance. What I have on Go tanks, I have 5s with 4 gear 12 pieces. He's got a Zeta. I don't have 6-stop mods, but he still gets the job done. His reinforcement ability, not really important. I don't really make use of it much, but remove 25% turn meter from all enemies. Can't be evaded. Grant all allies defense up for 2 turns. And target lock on all enemies with 0% turn meter. So it is nice, but he's kind of like a backup. I bring him in for reinforcements with Negotiator when there's a bunch of people that have target lock, and I can hit them all with this. So this special, inflict target lock for 2 turns and deal physical damage to each target locked enemy. So if they're all target locked, it's more like an AoE. It does 20% more damage for each target locked enemy. So that's where you keep an eye out. Bunch of target locks, bring in 5s. Then it's unique. It's kind of a double-edged sword. Whenever it attacks, it gains 30% turn meter, and target gains 20% turn meter. So you can choose who you want to accelerate. Like, oh, I want you to go. I want you to take a turn. Then you hit them. When an UMbaran Starfighter attacks, gains 5% offense and loses 5% defense till the end of the encounter. It's not super noticeable, but over time, it kind of gets up there. The basic, pretty nice. You want to use it mainly when if they have target lock, you're dispelling buffs, super nice. Physical, otherwise just offense down, defense down for 2 turns when maxed. So 5. So yeah, that's a great fleet right there for it. I don't have Rex's ship, I don't have Clone Surgeon or Jedi Consular up. Just these 6 ships is enough for like 90% of the game. And just real quick, I am going to be using Houndstooth somewhat here. I have a gear 12. I think a lot of people are familiar with Houndstooth. It gains the extra protection up when it's hit, against turn meter when other allies are hit. So it's good to get out in front and you get a taunt earlier. So I do use Houndstooth. I will disclose that at front. Even though it's not Galactic Republic, it fits with any fleet. If you don't have Executor yet and you are relying on Galactic Republic, you might need use of that. And now let's talk about Endurance. So Endurance is a surprisingly deep ship after its rework. So the most important things, the unique, the ultimate, and just Valor from this ability. Let's start with the unique. Before you're at 7 stars is not all that impressive. This is 7 stars. Allies have plus 12% defense and offense for each allied Galactic Republic ship deployed at the start of the battle, including the capital ship. So if you start with the full Galactic Republic lineup, that's 48% defense and offense. It's not bad. 7 stars, that goes up to 15%, so effectively 60% with the full starting lineup. And then all these extra things. At the start of the battle, all clone troopers gain Valor for 1 turn. That's great. Because actually, 5s is a pretty fast ship. Look at that, 190, and even higher when you have relics. So they start with Valor. They take a turn, feed Terminator to the capital ship. Enemies have minus 30% offense when attacking clone trooper allies with Valor. So they're effectively taking a lot more damage. It's a lot easier for them to take damage. It's great. Then when Valor is dispelled on an ally, Endurance gains 5% turn meter. And when Valor is dispelled on a Clone Trooper ally, they gain Valor again for 2 turns. So both Clone Troopers and Anakin, they're going to regain Valor when it's dispelled, and you keep it for longer. Then the reinforcement bonus goes up to Valor for 2 turns, any alignment, even not Galactic Republic. Then Galactic Republic allies gain crit chance up and defense penetration up for 2 turns. So combine that with, like, I don't know, if you get offense up and crit damage up from Marauder, you're gonna hit hard. And then you gain defense, and non-Galactic Republic allies gain stealth for 3 turns. I don't really bring in non-Galactic Republic allies. But when you start, 90% of the time your opening move is this, granting Valor to all allies. When I was a very small account, I did use this a lot to force a taunt on 5s. But for most players, when they have it more developed, start with getting Valor to all allies for 2 turns. I don't have this one maxed out yet. It's just more damage, and it does hit kind of hard, but, like, I don't know. It's not a huge priority. I guess we'll talk about this and then the ultimate. So this is like a healing move, crit immunity for basically anybody, or if in a forced taunt, if it's a tank, recovers 50% health and 100% protection. That's at the max level. If target ally is tanked, they taunt. If target ally is already at full health, they gain defense penetration up for 2 turns. So I'll use it. You'll see me using this as kind of like a bailout. Like if someone's hurting, I just heal them up with it. That's the main use. Then the ultimate. This one is great. You need a Gear 11 mace for the super version of the ultimate. Without it, it's just protection up 150% for 2 turns. That's it. It's hard to kill. And it is a lot of protection up, so it's very nice. It's kind of like Bastila lead. When you have it maxed out, it's 3 turns on that. Call itself and all allies with Valor to assist. So this is kind of like the Negotiator move, but at the end with an ultimate. So sometimes I'll look to see who has Valor. If a couple people do, I'll probably spam this. If no one has it, I might try to apply Valor with the special and then do the ult. But all allies with Valor gain a bonus turn. And that's another reason you wait to see if people have Valor. That's amazing. That's so good. After taking this bonus turn, the ally gains Retribution for 2 turns. That's one of the best ultimates in the game. That's like the best ultimate, I think, that is not destroy the enemy capital ship or steal it. I think it's probably even better than Chimera's ultimate, which is an insta-kill, just because so much durability, so much offensive potential. It's crazy. It is so good, and you're going to see just how good it is towards the end. But now, let's get into some battles. Unlike, when I go over squads, there's not mods specifics to talk about and other kind of things. And I can do a lot of mainstream ship battles. So we're going to have a lot of ship battles now. We're not going to be facing Malevolence, Chimera, the Raddus, any of those fleets, because none of those are viable in Fleet Arena, so I don't see them. And also, they're just easier punch downs for Negotiator. So let's get into it, starting with a mirror. First up, let's do a mirror match. So I'm going to be mirroring this Negotiator fleet. If I win, I'm not going to keep the battle because this guy's path is coming up. So I will just lose on purpose towards the end. He's got Ahsoka, Relic 5 with his, or Relic 8 with the Zeta, very nice. A Relic 8 with the Zeta Anakin, very nice. So he is really pouring into this Galactic Republic fleet. And they're all relics from Marauder. That's fantastic. Good job, Eagle Eye. So I will be showing you how I typically beat a better Negotiator with my own. So I know it's not Galactic Republic, but I start with Houndstooth because I need a reliable way to taunt at the beginning. They're probably going to go first. Well, let me just check this. 187, and on my Negotiator, no, the Zeta, I have 188. So actually, this should be easier for me since I'm going first. That's very important, by the way. Like, if you have your Negotiator faster, it's kind of easy street. If you don't, it's kind of bad. But I put Houndstooth as a reliable way to taunt. If they do start hitting me, I don't want Anakin just open to take beatings. And the Y-Wing only triggers its taunt when Anakin loses, it like it has its first death from unending loyalty. Let's get into this. My Houndstooth is just gear 12, and my Marauder is much weaker. Okay, so I don't have. He didn't land buff immunity. If he did, I would do a basic, but he didn't. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this on Anakin. There's no tank for us to worry about. Do AOE landed on Anakin. So at the beginning, we're focusing on Anakin. He's just Marauder's better, but Anakin's easier to kill. So this is beautiful. This is like a perfect lineup because he has no health or protection left. I'm gonna use the AOE because I don't need much damage, and I'm gonna get all these offensive buffs. There we go, dead and ability block. But since they no longer have a weak character on their team or weak ship, they did the AOE. If Anakin was still in that condition, if he was still in that condition, they would do their unending loyalty, their heal. Here, I'm just gonna do basic, just hammer it home. So their Marauder lost their extra life. Bringing a Y-Wing. AI is playing defense right now. Marauder has that offense up, so let's put it on Anakin. Let's put that taunt back on Houndstooth. He's not going to get critical immunity, but he is going to taunt. And since Noah's weak, they still didn't do the thing. All right, now I am in a safe place. I don't need any kind of defense, so I'm not going to bring in another tank. Let's just bring in another attacker and Ahsoka. I didn't need to do the AoE there, but I just thought I'd spam it. Okay, so this is checkmate. Like, I just hit this button and I win. So that is when you go faster. I don't really have one available that's faster than me for the Negotiator. So we'll just have to go with that for now. And now I'm going to be doing a Profundity and then a couple Executor matches with both Negotiator and Endurance. All right, next we're going to be doing a Profundity battle. So this is a 7-star Profundity. It is pretty much maxed out. So this is a legit counter. In my opinion, it's pretty legit. R7 dash, and I guess doesn't have Zeta Omicron or anything. That's fine. And then a little lower relics on Han and Chewie, but I don't think that's a huge deal for this. So when I am facing Profundity, I start with Anakin, Ahsoka, and Marauder. And then the reinforcements, I'm usually going to bring in Plo first and then have these other two Galactic. Houndstooth, that's really matter. The big thing is these three and Plo. So I don't win this every time. I do win it most of the times. The lose condition for me is usually they get Anakin down to barely anything on this mass swarm, and then he dies of burning. There was no assist there, so this is good RNG, but it still will let me show you how it plays out. So on this attack, if I was going to have my whole team go right after this, I might start with the special, but they're all going to go and kind of heal up. So I'm just going to do basic, hope I get offense up. I didn't. It's probably still going to be fine. This is also kind of a loose condition. Okay, so he has burning. He did not die. That is a big deal. On the first opening salvo, there was a potential, he got barely weakened. There was a potential he could have triggered stealth with a bunch of assists, and that would be fine. And then they just might be hitting Ahsoka or Marauder on that mass assist. But we should be fine here. So mass swarm on the bomber. Everyone's coming in. With that much health left, I don't feel comfortable doing the AoE or hiding under stealth. So I am just going to do a basic and kill him. And then we get to go and bring in Plo Koon. Help out Anakin, medic. And now I have a weak Plo Koon compared to the rest of my fleet. So what do I do here? I'm not going to get turn meter, so I don't want to do that. A basic's not going to do much. I actually throw a taunt on Plo Koon so he can just take a few hits. They got 3 stacks of that resilient defense, so I'm just going to try to get offense up. And then also, usually Plo Koon's kind of acting like I don't know, like a homing beacon for them because they're so drawn to it as such a weak ship. Now I stealth Ahsoka because I'm going to get this ending loyalty, unending loyalty. I put the offense up on Marauder because he didn't have offense up. Anakin did. Let's just do a basic, do some damage, and yeah, we'll finish off Outrider. And then they dispel everything, but Anakin gets under stealth. He died, not the best, but we can still potentially manage it. So there's target lock here, so on a bunch of them. So I'm actually going to bring in 5s, do the AoE. Let's try to take out Ghost, because once Falcon loses his assisters, he loses his real power. Again, basic, so strong. I prefer to do basic in a lot of cases. This isn't exactly how I like it to pan out. I like that mass swarm on Falcon to finish out, but I didn't have it available. So just hold off there. And let's... I don't think we're in huge danger, so I'm just going to bring in this, because he might bring in another... Oh, never mind. They weren't up for a reinforcement, so I could have done the ultimate. Oh, yeah, basic. Yeah, ultimate to finish off. So that one was kind of messy. I was trying to describe how things go or don't go, but that one, ultimately, I think it was a good demonstration because it was kind of messy and I still came out on top. So, I mean, that's Negotiator versus Profundity for you. The smoothest outcome is like, I don't know, you keep Anakin alive and they go after Plo the whole time because you don't care if he dies. But that is Negotiator versus Profundity. Okay, so here's one I might not win. It's kind of like an RNG fest. It is difficult to beat this. The Executor punishing one lineup triple attacker. If it doesn't work, I'm probably not going to redo it. I'll just tell you what, or like I'm not going to try again. I'll probably just tell you what went wrong and what we need to try and get next time. So their Executor, 192 speed. My Negotiator, 188. So I'm not going before they go. Punishing one, this one is 157 speed, but they get 3 speed per bounty hunter ally, that's 3 of them, and 6 speed per light side enemy, including capital ships, that's 4 of them. So 24 plus 9, that is 33 extra speed, putting them at 190. So they're outrunning my Negotiator, they're outrunning my Anakin, they're outrunning my Marauder. Yeah, so they're outrunning everything with punishing one. Let's just get into it. So the hope is to get the mass swarm on punishing one. It's good. What's good about it going faster than all my stuff is it'll lose that protection up. But here's kind of the risky thing. If it's already bad start. Yeah, okay. So that's... I said I wasn't going to redo it again, but I actually think I will because that didn't help get me to show anything. So what I need to happen here, sometimes I target Y-Wing, sometimes I target Marauder, and that's kind of what I need to happen for this to work. It's not super reliable without it, and I can get somewhere. I can kill punishing one, but I'm not going to be able to deal with Houndstooth is the problem here. So I kill punishing one. Okay, and we get tenacity up off you, and then spell this from you. Yeah, I might even get like a second kill. Okay, Boba Fett came in, so there's potential for another kill. Let's hide Ahsoka. Okay, you're mean, Boba. That offense up. Okay, he chose to heal into blood. It's not a bad choice. Oh, and by Ahsoka. Okay, I'll get my clock cleaned here. Last ditch attempt to get an extra kill. So if this was a Grand Arena setting. Okay, no, not gonna work. I'll come back and do another match in a few minutes, because that was not how I really wanted it to go. Alright, let's try this again. Same fleet, same setup, just hoping for a different outcome. Which is not the definition of insanity, you know? Like, that people always say, oh, Einstein said doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Definition of insanity. There's no evidence he said that, and one, you can do the same thing over and over again, and you can't get different results. Especially in things with random number generators. Okay, so here, he did target Marauder, so I have a chance. Didn't land mark or breach or anything, so that's great. I'm going to do an AoE. This gives him a little bit of protection up, and gets a little bit of damage on Xanadu Blood. The basic or the special doesn't really matter too much. Here, I can't really stealth Marauder, but he's hurting, so I'm gonna heal him up and stealth Anakin. Get that kill there, and then we're gonna be exposing Xanadu Blood. Well, actually, he hit again, so okay, good. I am not dead yet, so let's bring in Plo, get a medic. Use the turn meter. Take out Xanadu Blood. Yeah, give me that. Oh, it's so beautiful. And now I'm in a good spot. Like, Xanadu Blood and Punishing One are gone. That's the teeth of this fleet. And I will have the means to take out Houndstooth, because I have Anakin for buff immunity eventually. And Ahsoka coming in. This is beautiful. And I got rid of that bleach. Not bleach. Breach, if you noticed, with Plo Koon. Ah, you jerk. Get rid of that foresight. Let's just. Oh, okay. Got that on him. I'm going to save the buff immunity because it's not taunting. Let's just try to kill. Try to kill Razor Crest. Beautiful. Yeah, this is just picture perfect. He's going to bring in reinforcement, and that's going to suck because it's probably going to be Boba. And he's going to counter. Oh, not Boba. Never mind. I take it back. Oh, but I don't like Anakin being stunned. Okay. Ultimate. And take out Houndstooth and basic. Just do as much damage as we can. Wow, this is an instance I actually used my basic. If I didn't have it level 1, maybe that would kill it. But it doesn't really matter. So that's what I'm talking about. You do it, you know, if they target one of your 2 sturdy ships, you can win. So this is not like, I'm not advocating that as an approach to, I guess, a Grand Arena. It's not like super safe. But in Fleet Arena, when you're just trying to climb, like I'm up to 3 now. It's good, and I have not refreshed once. I'm just coming back when my timer's done, and I've done. This has been everything in this climb, and I do it every day. Taking out negotiators, taking out Profundity, taking out executors, and using different approaches. The last one for me to get to number 1, I'm gonna be using endurance. So endurance when there's Houndstooth starting is better. All right, here we go. I am excited for this because we're getting to use Mace Windu, and I'm actually going to do another video on my main account to face Leviathan, because there are no Leviathans in my fleet shard on the small account. So we already talked about how Mace works, but mine is gear 12, 2 Zeta, speed 158. I have this ability maxed, the unique or the commander ability. I got hold fast maxed. No, not that. Got the ultimate maxed. And I have this not quite maxed. In the basic, no levels at all. So we're starting. I don't need a 7th reinforcement. I put Houndstooth just so it doesn't autofill with something else later. Starting UMbaran, Marauder, and Y-Wing. They're all sturdy. And then we're going to bring in Anakin next. So what Punishing One does is it punishes you for attacking out of turn with a mass swarm, which is why if you go bring in a negotiator, do your mass swarm before Punishing One goes, it's just going to death mark you, and it's going to be painful. But the endurance fleet, it's more about strong single hits. So we are not sad about not being able to mass swarm right away. So let's start with a special on punishing one. Get it a little bit, get it going a little bit. Let's get more Valor. Okay, my UMbaran's hurting. Let's heal him up a little bit. And there's no Xanadu blood on the other side, so their damage output is significantly reduced. Okay, 5's there just kind of to survive. So let's bring in Anakin first for the big damage. Maybe get buff immunity, hopefully. Oh, beautiful. Bringing in Boba. Not exactly what I want to see, but he triggered Anakin to take a turn. He's ticked off. Let's go for the kill. Let's take him out. Alright. Got it. And 5 is hurting, so let's heal him up. That's why I like Mace Hayes. Look, my team is like all full health. Okay, now they're getting all their stuff, but he triggered Anakin, so he's going to take out Mr. Punishing One. And I can bring in Plo Koon, heal us up, top us off. Don't have a ton of Valor, which is unfortunate, but that's not going to stop me from killing Boba. Okay, I have Valor on a couple ships, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this, protect us, and get the Mass Swarm. And let's just get some extra hits. Buff immunity and healing immunity. Oh, so close to just wrapping it up early. But like, so with that other battle of Negotiator versus Executor, it was like I had to have a good roll and have everything work out. Look at this. Look at this. I didn't lose anyone there. Full health, full protection, beyond full health and full protection because they have the purple protection up. And it's crazy. Mace is a bona fide, legit fleet. You know, you have to have the good Galactic Republic supporting fleet. So I'm gonna face the Leviathan in a second here, but I think players, especially newer players, should start thinking of Negotiator and Endurance as one big cohesive Galactic Republic fleet for Fleet Arena. Because if you have both options, you can really, I can't beat that fleet I just beat. I can't beat that with Negotiator, not reliably anyway, because of Houndstooth. But you have both options. I don't really know how. I don't think Endurance works great against the triple attacker lineup either, because they have too much damage with Xanadu Blood in there. But yeah, you want to be a switch hitter with those two capital ships. All right, and last battle I think for today. Endurance versus Leviathan on my main account. So this one we're facing, it's not all Relic 9 fleet ships over there. I do have a Relic 7 Endurance. I mean, maxed out for what it can be. I'm not going Relic 9. I don't have the Omicron, but this is kind of where I'm staying with. Mace 169 speed. All the abilities max. My Marauder, all Relic 7. Anakin is Relic 9. 5's Relic 7. And Anakin Relic 9 was recently done, and I did it on purpose. So he's 194 speed. And I did that for Negotiator, because it doesn't really matter too much here. And this is effectively 192 speed, because it has plus 15. So I wanted the turn order to go Anakin, then Negotiator, then Marauder, in case I want to hide Anakin. Because if you want to hide Anakin, you want him to go first. If you're not trying to hide Anakin, you don't care if Marauder goes first. But yeah, so I have Phantom here in case I need to burn a reinforcement, but that's really it. I'm probably not going to need it. And I don't know if I'll win, but yeah, so Leviathan, top dog fleet, top dog composition here. We're going to start out with this on tank. And we're going to get some Valor. He's going to go drop his bombs. Usually start out with the basic because he will cleanse it later. And now let's hide Anakin. See, Anakin went and then Marauder. So Anakin is going to have 2 turns of stealth. And then we had 5s get the isolate. So let's get rid of that immunity there. And this is kind of where, you know, the rubber meets the road. Usually I can kill Dorito here, but sometimes not. No crits, that didn't kill. Let's do this, get our offensive stats up, and then Anakin hopefully cleans that up. And he did. But usually I get, you know, if you crit with Ahsoka, you're gonna kill Dorito in a one shot. Ahsoka is hurting, so let's help her out. No choice here. Big hit. Oh yeah, that was a pretty big hit, but unfortunately not enough to take that first life. And Anakin is dazed. So this is not quite what you want to see. Let's go for that. Yep, killed it. So it's not exactly what you want to get at. Come on, dodge. It's not exactly what you want to get out of it, but it's setting you up for a two-shot. It's not 100%. Yeah, they are gonna get their ultimate, so I'm not gonna get another chance. So I just slap this. Oh no, they didn't get ultimate. Okay. Maybe I should have thrown in a reinforcement. Oh, that was a nice big old hit there. Beautiful. Yeah, Marauder kicks butt. So, I mean, this is just, that's more or less how it ends up most of the time for me. It's setting up a two-shot is the most likely outcome. But a few things could happen differently that'll really help us. If we get Ahsoka dead right away. Oh man, we're gonna actually get a solid setup for a cleanup. 6? Yeah. So if we kill Dorito right away with Ahsoka, that opens up a lot of stuff. We can kill Sith Fighter early, and then we can kind of keep people alive, kill the bomber. Well, this is solid, you know. In Grand Arena, just two guys. We took out Bomber, we took out Sith Fighter, we took out Dorito, and we took out EP Shuttles. We took out 4 ships, so not exactly what you want, but yeah, this is just how to use Galactic Republic Fleet, and that's going to be it for this video. I hope you have a much better understanding of Galactic Republic Fleet. I think I've demonstrated how valuable they are against every fleet that's better than them, really. I mean, there's Malevolence, there's Chimera, they're good fleets. There's the Radis. Those are all kind of punching down. I don't have them available in Fleet Arena because no one really uses them. They're not good enough. So those, it's more easy. You just throw a Negotiator and with Marauder and you're probably going to be set. But yeah, I hope you learned something. Let me know your thoughts, and I appreciate it. See you guys next time.